I want to welcome all the viewers to the continuation of Kruse Law Firm's podcast. This podcast series has been dealing with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on the Ontario criminal justice system, and we've been talking about numerous topics. And today we're going to be talking about the effect of the pandemic on out-of-custody sexual assault cases. And I'm here today with our lovely office manager, Jody Fulmer, who's doing a great job for our firm managing our offices.
Welcome
you, Mike.
Again. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you for all your hard work, Jody, and looking forward to chatting with you today about this topic.
Excellent. So we're talking about sexual assault cases, which we do have a lot of those going on right now. A lot of people come to us with those types of charges, and even potential clients still to this day. And as I said, we do have a lot of current sexual assault cases going on. So, Mike, with regard to the COVID-19 pandemic, how are sexual assault cases that even we have or someone can expect that are charged with sexual assault, how can they expect their cases to be affected during this pandemic right now?
Great question, Jody. So we're talking about out-of-custody sexual assault cases. So in other words, a person's been charged with sexual assault and they're not sitting languishing in jail waiting for their trial.
Mm-hmm. They received bail.
They received bail terms. And so for these types, it's been very interesting because this summer and spring, as people are aware, what happened was the court system got paused. There was no trials going on from about March 15 or 16 to July 6th. And it's only open in a limited way. So it's still, the courts are slowly being renovated and not all courts are running at capacity, but at least, thank God, trials resumed. So first and foremost, if you've been charged and you want to go to trial, you can now get your trial date set finally.
And the courtrooms are safe, Mike?
Oh, the courtrooms are absolutely safe. There's no question. So, and we'll talk about that in another podcast. That's a very interesting topic in and of itself about the safety of the courts. So, what's happening is this, like sexual assaults, they really, there's a wide range of sexual assault. Now, every sexual assault's serious, there's no question, but sexual assaults range from the most minor, say, fleeting, momentary, intentional buttock touching in a bar, which is, there's no question that's serious.
And a kiss on the cheek could be construed as a sexual assault, correct?
You've got it. Absolutely. There's no question. Up to a brutal, violent rape. So the range of sentencing on a normal non-COVID day, if I might put it that way, is very wide, up to years in jail to avoiding a criminal record, maybe. But so if we take the lesser end of the range, the minor fleeting touch, the breast grab, this type of thing, we're finding that Crown attorneys, because of perception of delay, there's trial delays in the system right now, or at least a perception they're going to happen. We don't know if they're going to emerge. So we've been receiving some pretty good sentencing deals on more minor cases, that fleeting grab, where the person, the Crown attorney might have want to have to give that person a criminal record. We might be able to get a conditional discharge on that fleeting momentary touch right now, whereas maybe we couldn't before. Mm-hmm. We're certainly even avoiding jail if you go up the scale a little bit. Let's say a person in a bar grabbed a woman's breast for 20 seconds, kind of forcefully. Some Crown attorneys and courts might have inclined to show that person a lesser and throw them in jail. Mm-hmm. Because of the perception of delay, the Crowns feel they need to move these cases, so we've been getting some deals. They're not giving away the farm. Don't get me wrong. That type of case is still open to a jail versus, depending on the person's background, depending on the facts. The Crown had a wide range to do and a wide range of cases before, but we're getting better deals. Now, as you go up the scale, the Crown attorneys are not interested in giving deals, obviously, for obvious reasons, and I agree with them on
for various serious sexual assaults.
Or even mid-level ones where it's, say, digital penetration or more serious assault such as that, or rape, obviously.
Right.
We're not getting deals on those. Our clients who want to go to trial on those, or if their trial was adjourned this summer, at least they can set it now. So that's good.
That's a good thing, yes.
But the interesting development over the summer, a number of years ago, first of all, there used to be house arrest for sexual assault. And Parliament a number of years ago got rid of that. They made a law saying, look, we're not going to sentence a person to jail to serve it in his home or her home.
What's the legal term for that, Mike? Conditional sentence?
Yeah, that's called a conditional sentence. Now, a conditional sentence, believe it or not, is still considered a jail term, but it's served in your home. So you're under a curfew, you're under house arrest, you may be able to go to work, you may be able to go to health.
Do they make
medical.
you wear a bracelet, ankle bracelet?
They can do that. They don't always do that. Anklet bracelets are available in certain counties.
A lot of our clients watch too much TV, so they always kind of compare Canadians' law to American.
No, there are ankle bracelets they're not available in all counties, but certainly it can. So it's a house arrest situation. Now, for someone who's guilty, that's a great sentence.
Oh, for sure.
So what we're finding is this summer, a case called Sharma come out. It was interesting because it came out right in the middle of COVID. And that's an Ontario Court of Appeal case. I think it came out sometime in July, maybe the 18th or 24th, I think it came out. And that case basically struck down that law that prevented conditional sentences. So now it's open to receive a conditional sentence for sexual assault. Will you, though? Will you is the big question.
Will the Crowns,
Well, first of all, I don't think too many Crowns are ever going to agree to a conditional sentence, number one, even during COVID.
Never. But I mean, a judge, depending on what we produce evidence-wise and go to them with, I mean, depending on the situation. But yeah, that is still a very difficult result to achieve.
Yes, you're right. Now, if you look at it this way during COVID, is on, say, a lower to mid-level sexual assault, in other words, not a rape, is there a better chance of getting a conditional sentence, that is house arrest right now during COVID, than if this was not COVID? Yes, there is. Our firm, for example, we've just recently received a conditional sentence, house arrest. The client was ecstatic. The Crown was seeking 3 years in jail. It was a fairly serious
Great
incident.
result.
Yeah, and we got house arrest. So that was even a serious case. It's going to be very difficult to get that in a rape case with involving sexual intercourse. Is it possible? It is possible. I don't think a Crown's going to ever agree with that. But the perception is the judges are saying, look, do I really want to put this person in jail? And on lower to mid-level cases, you might stand a better chance of getting it. No guarantee, though. So COVID has helped that for people. And you know what? You've got a person who committed, I'll look at it this way. I mean, there's competing arguments. If you're a law-abiding person, conservative, you'll say, hey, these people deserve jail.
Right.
Another person, look, we're giving them, it's still deterrence, general deterrence. We're putting them in their home. It's still restrictive. They can still contribute to society and do their job. There's competing arguments about the value of it. A lot of people think this is crazy that we're putting a rapist in for house arrest, and there's competing arguments on this, no question. So that's kind of what's going on with sexual assaults. I mean, I guess the bottom line.
So basically the good news is, I think what you're trying to tell us is if you have a charge of sexual assault or had pre-COVID and the beginning of COVID, and your trial was set and then adjourned, and it was supposed to be dealt with, say in April, and there was no sight to see when that trial date was going to get reset. But the courts are opening up, and now they're scheduling these things because of the serious nature of them, and the courts, as you say, are safe. I do believe you mentioned, or we will talk about that later. You said people are concerned. Well, I don't even know if I want to go to trial now during COVID, but it is safe. It's probably the safest place to be inside one of those courtrooms that's very well retrofitted and safe. But the last thing you want to do if you're given the opportunity, I think, Mike, is to prolong your sexual assault case any longer, than necessary, because your whole life is on hold.
Absolutely, Jody. And you know what? It's a message that I'll give to anyone charged with sexual assault. It is a good time to hire a lawyer because, number one, you can get your trial date set. Number two, I hate to say this because as a member of the public, I hope trial delay doesn't happen, but cases may get thrown out down the road. We don't know at this point.
Yeah.
Number three, if you're in that lower to mid-range sexual assault, you may be able to avoid a jail term or maybe even avoid a criminal record at the lower end, or maybe get a conditional sentence. I think it's going to be really difficult to get a conditional sentence for a rape charge.
And I hate to say it, it's even more difficult to get any of those results when you don't have a lawyer.
Oh, yeah. Good luck to you. The person who doesn't hire a lawyer or a self-represented person has a fool for an attorney or a lawyer, as the expression goes.
Yes.
I really enjoyed chatting with you about this today, Jody, about how it's affecting out-of-custody sexual assault
Very
cases.
informative information, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll say to our viewership, thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to having you watch the rest of our podcast or any one that you may choose, and stay safe out there, everyone, during COVID.
Thanks, Mike.
I really hope you enjoyed our podcast. We are absolutely committed to bringing you informative and interesting criminal and DUI content. If you're watching this on YouTube, I ask and encourage you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you happen to be an audio listener, please follow us and stay tuned for more great content. If you've been charged with a criminal offense or a DUI in Ontario, please call us or reach out to us online with the contact form found at kruselaw.ca.